Hello, friends, and welcome to another Modern League. We're returning to an old favorite. It's Hammer Time, and Hammer Time has gotten something really special from the Modern Horizons 2. We've got Urza's Saga. This card has been blowing up all over the format. Tons of decks have been picking it up or being built around it. And this is basically taking the place of one of our lands, but it's also taking the place of Steel Shaper's Gift. It's taking the place of Steel Shaper's Gift. So it's going to search the hammer up for us, and it's going to put the hammer directly onto the battlefield, so we don't even have to cast it afterwards. But also, what I've found when I've been playing this in tournament practice is that Urza's Saga has also just been giving me 2 creatures. And we play quite a few artifacts on this list, so if we, for example, get 2 of these construct tokens and then go get Shadowspear and put Shadowspear onto one of the constructs, then we're just attacking with a 7/7 lifelink trample, which might just be good enough on its own. Urza Saga also gives us access to a toolbox of artifacts, so we're able to fetch out a Tormod's Crypt at an opportune moment, or out of the sideboard we have Pithing Needle, Soul Guide Lantern, Grafdigger's Cage, and another copy of Tormod's Crypt. We have a lot of hammers here, but no way to equip them. This hand is not as good as it might seem. See, now this hand is way better. We're keeping this one. Let's see here. So we want to keep the Plains and the Urza Saga. We want to keep the Hammer, the Sigarda's Aid. We're going to need to keep a creature. So we have to get rid of Stoneforge Mystic or Giver of Runes. I'm going to get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic because we can play Giver of Runes turn 2. Okay, so we're just going to start out with Sigarda's Aid Ornithopter. Let's see if they go for a Goblin Guide here. Killing the Ornithopter is probably their best play. Well, we can get a turn 2 Giver of Ruins down now with a Colossus Hammer on it, which is probably just game over. But another thing we could have done there was just play the Ornithopter out this turn, so we wouldn't lose it. If opponent's just dealing with our creatures with damage, we should just be fine. And that's a scoop. They don't have a Braid or whatever, because, yeah, they don't have any way to deal with an 11-12. Hand was nuts. One of the things that we have to learn to do with this deck is we have to be free to mulligan. You're going to be more free to keep any hand that has Urza Saga in it, because it's just going to be able to make the constructs, which are a lethal threat. But otherwise, we're really looking for a way to equip hammers. Put hand on table. Is this enough? Yes. Yes, it is. So I'm not too sure what we're going to be wanting to bring in this matchup. I'm thinking they're probably Obosh Prowess. So they're just going to be trying to kill us with creatures. Maybe we just bring in Path to Exile to slow them down. We could bring in Defense Grid which would make it more difficult for them to interact with us on our go turn. Grid seems meh. One more card to take out. Maybe a Memnite. I definitely want to keep the Shadowspear for sure, all the hammers. Yeah, we're going to go with this. Well, this hand looks pretty good to me. We have Puresteel Paladin, Urza Saga, Inkmoth Nexus. The hand is going to take a little bit to get off the ground, but this is definitely a keep. Cranial Plating. So I'm thinking probably just Plains, Hammer, Pass. This looks like, I think, a turn 4. So we gotta get lucky and hope that they don't go fast. Opponent's deck is definitely one that could win by turn 4. And they're on the play. Shattering Spree. So that's going to destroy our Colossus Hammer. Sigarda's Aid. That's nice. Unfortunately, I can't play this hammer here, but I can play the Sigarda's Aid this turn. So if we play the Inkmoth Nexus here, we might be able to sneak in a win next turn, is what I'm thinking. Hey there, Cylon. Let's see if we can go for that sneaky win. Yeah, welcome to it, bud. I saw you on that raid. You were the only one that said beep boop. Okay, so Blast Zone isn't ready yet. This is really going to be our turn to go. I know. We go in, like, raid this person with 1 viewer, no reaction. Put stuff in chat, no reaction. You gotta have a little bit of back and forth. I mean, who am I to say what someone has to do, right? They can do whatever they want, but I definitely appreciate a little bit of back and forth from the streamer. Okay, so here comes Shattering Spree. Gonna blow up our hammer, makes sense. Drama. Alright, so they have an opportunity to answer a thing that we're going to do here. And with them not casting the Firebolt for the extra damage, they absolutely have a thing to do. Probably an Abrade, if I had to guess. So maybe we play Urza's Saga Stoneforge Mystic, so we can go get another hammer. Problem is that a Braid can just, like, kill Nexus, and Blaststone can just kill all of our hammers. Not to mention the Sigarda's Aid itself. This is going to be a tough one to get through. But maybe if we can get this Urza Saga thing going, we might be able to block these Soulscar mages. I don't know. We've still got some turns left in us. Yeah, exactly. We can make the Karnstructs. Go get another hammer. Could go get that thing that gives us lifelink, which would also be really good. The Shadowspear. Kind of a toss-up, honestly. We already have a hammer. I'm going to go for another one. Deck is called Hammer Time. We're not here not to cast hammers. Okay, they're going to kill our Stoneforge Mystic here. I'm interested in trying to save it. Okay, they are going to Lava Dart in response, which still allows them to leave up 2 mana. So whatever they were holding up last turn, they're continuing to hold up this turn. But I think we might just have to go ahead and go for it here regardless. They're going to do us quite a bit of damage this turn. Oh, they're... Did they sacrifice their untapped mountain? They did, didn't they? Well, now they only have a colorless source up. So I guess we just go for it here. Do we have enough mana? Puresteel Paladin, activate Nexus. We wouldn't have enough mana to put the hammer onto that as well. Yeah, we're just going to go in for Inkmoth kill here. GG. Yeah, this is fine. We'll keep this. A little bit slow, but maybe we just draw hammer off the top and it's really good. I'm going to start with these 3 cards. And might play this other Memnite out as well. A Boreal Grazer. Okay. So we're up against a Titan deck. Amulet Titan looks like. Just a land off the top. Now, there might have been some value to just playing Urza's Saga, Memnite here. That would have allowed us to get to our mode 3 on turn 3. That might have actually been the better play here. I've been looking at Urza Saga played on turn 2 so that we can get our Karnstruct out of it. But maybe in this case it was more important to just go get Hammer quickly. Because here we basically did nothing on turn 2. And our turn 3 is not going to be too much better. We're just going to be activating Urza Saga, making a construct. Okay, so they're casting Abundant Harvest. And they just go get Amulet of Vigor with it? Wow, it must be nice. Well, they're giving us another turn. Let's see if we can draw a hammer. But even hammer by itself isn't going to be able to kill them. An Esper Sentinel. And if we play the Esper Sentinel, we don't get a construct. Okay, here comes Titan. So they have Titan plus Amulet. I don't think this is the kill this turn. They get to attack with it. They get a bunch of lands, but I don't think they kill us. So we can make a 4/4 with the Urza Saga. That's not enough to kill a Titan, so we're just going to take the damage. Vesuva turns into another Valakut. So when they get the Dryad, that's just going to be GG. Wonder if they have Dryad in hand. Another Summoner's Pact, so that goes against the Dryad. And they probably have Fetch Land in hand. No, they just have another Valakut. Damn. Okay, let's make a 1/1. See what we draw. We get a Stoneforge Mystic. So we could, with this, go get Hammer, put Hammer onto Construct. Stoneforge Mystic, go get Spear, put Spear onto Construct. We gain a bunch of life, smash for a bunch of damage, but then they get to do the Primeval Titan thing again next turn. And we get to play the Esper Sentinel as well, which boosts the construct a little bit. So we attack here. They just block with Grazer. Then they attack with Titan, and then they get 3 times 2 is 6, times 3 is 18. So that's enough to... It's not enough to kill us, but it would be enough to kill the Construct. Have to attack then. They do have to play a lot of green mana. Looks like they easily have enough. Oh, I thought it was 2 Summoner's Pacts for some reason. Right. So we had to attack in order to gain the life from the Construct. And I think we're still dead here just to their search. You're not wrong, Iburakima. It is a good habit to get into. I know there was a little bit of controversy on the, what was it, when we started calling lands creature lands instead of man lands. But yeah, it's free, doesn't cost anything. So why not be more inclusive? Sword blocks here don't matter. Primetime has trample, so it's going to be able to kill us there regardless. So we didn't take enough time to think about our turn 1 play. I had kind of been shortcutting Urza Saga as a turn 2 play so that we could get our Construct, but it would have been far better to have played Urza Saga turn 1 so that we could have tried to have gone off earlier, although I think we would have been blown out. I'd have to go back and check exactly how that went. So let's see here. We have potentially Path to bring in for the Titan. Grafdigger's Cage doesn't do any good. Could potentially bring in Fragmentize to kill their... Actually, I don't mind Fragmentize, because they might be playing the Urza Saga as well. Yeah, Fragmentize kills Dryad and Saga. Fragmentize seems pretty great. So we can take out the Crypt easily. Don't mind taking out one of these. We're going to take out a Memnite. Giver of Ruins are kind of mediocre in this matchup. Yeah. I was checking out Grafdigger's Cage because I thought that this deck could definitely use one. And as I was taking a look, the promo was actually the cheapest of the Grafdigger's Cage, and it had this art that I'd never seen before either, so I went ahead and picked it up. So let's see here. Is Giver of Ruins better than Memnite and Springleaf Drum? I think I would actually rather just have the other cards, Memnite and Springleaf. And then is Seal of Cleansing better than these cards? I think Seal of Cleansing is actually better. So we're boarding in quite a bit of stuff here. See if we've overboarded. So we've got Saga, we got Nexus, we got Seal of Cleansing. This hand doesn't look too good. We really got to rely on the Saga doing its thing here. No, you're right. And one of the other things that the Giver does is it makes your creatures unblockable, so you can get through their board. This hand could be really good if we find a way to equip a hammer. Probably should have mulliganed this. We're going to have to hope that Seal of Cleansing is really good. Because we already know that Urza Saga is really good. Well, opponent is mulliganing really heavily here, so that's making me feel pretty good about my keep. No, absolutely, this hand is not great. And as a 7, we should probably have mulliganed it. It looks pretty free to mulligan, but we might be rewarded with our opponent mulliganing so heavily. Having a Seal of Cleansing to take care of whatever they're doing might look really nice. So I want to play Plains into Urza Saga here, so that we can play Seal of Cleansing turn 2, and then turn 3 make a Construct. Okay, Engineered Explosives. That's something that Seal of Cleansing will be pretty good at getting rid of. And yeah, it is at 1. And we don't need to use a Seal of Cleansing right now. That's one of the beauties of the card. We can wait. Another Saga. Alright, so I think we're going to play Saga here and just make a bunch of Constructs go, 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 go. Okay, we just drawn out a land. Okay. Alright, so we got a couple choices here. I kind of like Shadowspear. It's kind of one of the problems is these things are all basically 1s, right? So getting a 1 is something that the Engineered Explosives can take care of. So getting Shadowspear here is just like something juicy for them to hit. We could just go get like Memnite. Because I really, in my heart of hearts, want to keep the Seal of Cleansing for an Amulet. Because right now, Engineered Explosives isn't actually doing anything. Destroy an artifact or enchantment. Okay. What are they going to hit? They're going to hit one of our constructs. Makes sense. And we draw Puresteel Paladin. So that's a pretty good one here. They're tapped out, so let's take a second and think about what this means. So we play the planes, and we can cast the Puresteel Paladin. We can put Hammer onto a thing. We have enough mana to activate the Inkmoth Nexus, but we don't have enough mana to give it flying again. So I'm thinking we destroy the Engineered Explosives, and we get a Hammer and put it onto a thing and attack for a bunch of damage. So we're just going to make colorless mana. So they only have one block here, they must block here, which also means we cannot move the Hammer afterwards. Still smash them for a bunch, and get rid of Engineered Explosives while we're at it. Razor does have Reach, so that'll block Inkmoth Nexus. But I think we have lethal damage basically with the rest of our creatures here. So they're another land. They're going to need another way to interact. All right, so we have 2 Inkmoth Nexus here. We want to make sure that we activate the one that... oh, okay, they're just going to concede. But I was going to say one thing you can actually do is right-click your land, and it'll tell you if it's newly controlled or if it isn't. So if the land says newly controlled, that is summoning sick. You do not want to activate that land and make it a creature. I mean, Inkmoth doesn't have flying with the hammer on it unless you give Inkmoth Nexus double flying, and I'm being serious. So we could bring in Pithing Needle here to name Engineered Explosives, which seems pretty good. Yeah, exactly. So the creature has reach, which means if we give the Inkmoth Nexus double flying, the Grazer can still block it. But the Grazer was going to block our Inkmoth Nexus, and then the rest of our creatures were going to do lethal damage on the ground. So it was fine. I think I'm just going to bring in one Pithing Needle. We can search it up. Exactly. Double activate, use the layers. We're on the draw here. We're going to take out a land. Okay. I love this hand. We only have one land, but we have Fragmentize to interact. We have Puresteel Paladin, and first turn, we have Ornithopter Paradise Mantle. So yeah, this hand is great. Going to be looking to draw some lands off the top, but I'm pretty happy with this one. Maybe, I think we were supposed to play the Colossus Hammer there. No, that's, this is fine. Okay, so we have a target for our Fragmentize. Land? Nice. So, let's see here. The Fragmentize is a little bit awkward. So we could play the Puresteel Paladin, and then play Urza Saga, play Colossus Hammer, equip the hammer to the Paladin, and we get to draw a card, but then opponent gets their turn 3 to do whatever they want. I think that it would be better for us to just Fragmentize the Amulet and play the hammer, or play the plating. Yeah, I think that we have the same idea here, Blind. Honestly, I want to get rid of this Amulet. We don't have the win right now, so I don't want to pass the turn back with them having an Amulet. Alright, so we have 2 mana. I can play Cranioplating, or I can play Hammer. Alright, I'm just going to play the Cranioplating. It costs more mana, right? So it's going to be more difficult to cast on another turn. Whereas this turn upcoming, we should be able to get this Puresteel down. The problem with Pal plus Hammer here is we still need another white source in order to get the Ornithopter attacking with a hammer on it. Okay, there's their Saga. We have Fragmentize for that. Ooh, Fragmentize for that too. Now we only have one Fragmentize. Which one are we going to hit? Let's see what we draw off the top. Maybe maybe we're just going to hit their face. We'll see. What do you think we Fragmentize here? Probably the Dryad, right? Another Saga. So we can play Fragmentize, equip the Cranioplating to the Ornithopter, and attack. And next turn go for Hammer Hammer. Or Hammer Spear. Oh right, it's only 1 to equip with the Cranioplating. For some reason I thought it was 2. So we can put the Colossal Hammer down here. Yeah, I think we just put it down. Puresteel Paladin makes the equipping easy. And this will also increase the power of the Ornithopter this turn. Smash. So we go get Spear. We equip Hammer and Spear. This is 16, 17, I think. Oh no. Foundation Breaker. What are you going to kill with that? Our Ornithopter? Or the Hammer? You're going to kill the Cranioplating. Oh, that's super good for us. That's probably the best thing they could hit. I mean, they could have hit this Urza Saga, and that would have been awful. Oh, Seal of Cleansing to get rid of their Urza Saga before it flips? Well, we're going to have to put the Puresteel Paladin down this turn if we want to go in for attacking damage, which I do think I want to do. Activate this one for mana, leave this one open for now. Go get Hammer. Or sorry, no, we want the Spear here. Oh, that's right. That's not really going to be useful. Because we're still kind of cut off on white mana here. So we can Seal of Cleansing the Saga, or we can play the Puresteel Paladin. We play the Puresteel Paladin, we can't attack. Again. This costs 2 to equip. We don't have 2 mana. I mean, we do have 2 mana. We can only use the Mantle with the Ornithopter. We can't use the Mantle on the Puresteel Paladin. Oh, yeah. If we got the Springleaf Drum, we would have had more mana there. That's true. Yeah, that's true. We had to tap the Ornithopter to play the Puresteel Paladin unless we can draw Plains. If we can draw that Plains, we drew the Plains. Okay, so we're going to have double white for the Puresteel Paladin, which means we can just activate this for the colorless here. Let's go get another hammer. And that's a scoop. Nice. We managed to navigate our way through that game. Now, this is turn 5 here. Does it feel like turn 8 to anybody else? Interesting hand. We have Saga, we have a bunch of ways to make stuff. I like this hand. I think I'm going to go Saga, Drum, play out our stuff. Turn 2, we can immediately make a Construct because of the Springleaf Drum and the second land. And then we're on our way. No, it's all good. With the Paladin, we can make huge amounts of mana. It's just all the creatures have to be ready to tap. Ooh, blue mana into Cookbook. Cookbook is a scary deck. We get the Tormod's Crypt. I mean, I guess. This hand does lean super hard on Saga. So when to use our Tormod's Crypt is going to be a difficult decision. Like, if they discard their pilot here to make a food, are we supposed to eat the pilot? Or are we supposed to wait until they play their Emery? When they discard the Daredevil, you think? Just snap it up right away? Don't let them start making food with that? Makes sense. Because if we can keep them from having 2 foods, then they won't be able to kill our creatures. Okay, so they start with a Misty. So that gets them their first food. Urza Saga of their own. And there's the Emery. Spell Bomb. And some stuff. So we're going to be able to activate the Crypt when they tap this, or when they try and do the Daredevil thing. So we're going to go ahead and pass for now. But opponent's deck is one that I've been thinking about picking up for a little bit as well. The version with Asmo and Emery. Ooh, the Sigarda's Aid? What a draw. Now, this is a little bit awkward. If we want to play Sigarda's Aid, we're not going to be able to make a token. But if we play the Sigarda's Aid, then when we get Hammer, it just goes onto one of the creatures. I think we want to play Sigarda's Aid so that when we get Hammer with Urza's Saga, we're able to just put the hammer onto whatever creature and start attacking. That's true too. Constructs are going to be quite large. Alright, so we're altering our turn 2 plan here. We're playing the Sigarda's Aid that we just drew, and passing the turn. Equipped creature, they either have to kill it in response to the hammer being targeting, or they have to do it twice, so 4 foods. But I mean, they can kill that creature. It's definitely possible. Hey there, Islands. Thanks for joining us. Alright, we're going to Tormod's Crypt in response to this. We don't want them having that spell bomb. Uh-oh. That's scary. Oh, we drew Colossus Hammer off the top? Like a champion. So let's see here. We can make a construct, and then play a land, and we'll still have enough mana to do another thing. Hammer. Put hammer onto Ornithopter. Play land. And attack. Nice. Turn 3. Okay. So let's see here. Grafdigger's Cage is going to be kind of mediocre, actually, against the opponent's deck. Not as good as it could be. Bruce by the magic guy with the raid. How you doing, friend? How was your stream? What did you play? Thank you very much for the raid. I hope so too. Thank you. So let's see here. We got a little bit over 2 minutes left. Pithing Needle seems okay. Pithing Needle, Cage. Do we bother bringing in the Lantern as well? I think that probably Tormod's Crypt is probably better than Lantern here. We do have access to, like, Fragmentize as well to destroy the cookbooks. But this is a lot of cards to be bringing in. And then again, we did bring in quite a few cards with the last matchup as well. I am interested in keeping some of my Giver of Ruins in this matchup. Being able to give our creatures protection could definitely come in handy. We could give them like protection from what's Asmo say? Because Asmo targets, right? So we could target creature deals damage to itself or something. We could even give the creature like protection from white and like it would prevent the damage to itself. But I'm thinking too much about this stuff and I gotta take cards out. Alright, so we're boarded. Might not be the ideal board, but we did finish the boarding. This hand looks phenomenal. Love this hand, everything about it. Here's playing some Modern Hybrid with Titania and Elemental Tribal, trying to piece together Titania and Zerina Orb. Nice. With also Greater Gargadon for sacrificing the land. Sounds really spicy. Was that something that you brewed up yourself? Or you find it on the net? Did a viewer brew it? Dockley32, thanks for the follow, friend. So let's see here. We're just going to want to play Memnite Sigarda's Aid. It seems the turn one here seems pretty straightforward. We could potentially keep the Memnite back. I don't think that's worthwhile, though. We're going to have Stoneforge Mystic and later Puresteel Paladin, so we're going to have creature after creature after creature. We don't really have to be holding one creature back, I don't think. Hey, so the best of both worlds. Sounds good. Ooh, the Aether Spellbomb. So that's going to be able to interfere with our plans. Esper Sentinel, huh? Esper Sentinel's kind of interesting. I mean, we're not going to be going for the win for a turn or two anyways. The problem is it doesn't use our mana very well. I would much prefer to play the Mystic, go get Hammer. Okay, and we'll pass back. Don't bother attacking. They have an easy block here. Resurgent Belief. I don't know that card. Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, that's sweet. Are you going to do the Resurgent Belief at Fair, or are you cascading into it? I imagine you're probably, oh, what's that other card? The 3-mana enchantment that just lets you cast it for free? As Foretold. Sweet. Yeah, that's the card I was thinking. Okay, so they have the blue mana, they can use the Spell Bomb, but Spell Bomb's not that great when we have Puresteel Paladin to just move the hammer around a bunch. Alright, so I think we play Puresteel Paladin and then we play Hammer so we can get a card draw out of it. Media and Brain, thanks for the follow, friend. So they could Aether Spellbomb the Puresteel Paladin so we don't draw a card, but then we just get to throw the hammer onto Memnite and attack. So maybe they have a Remand, but that would still be bad because we'd still get to smash. Nice, we get to draw. I will just put this on the Memnite. I should have put it on Stoneforge Mystic. We can still switch it. It's fine. Well, thanks a lot, Media. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to use that. But I actually want to move the hammer onto the Mystic here, so if they bounce the Mystic... Actually, hold on. If they bounce the Memnite, we can just replay it this turn. Yeah, we're going to attack with Memnite that way. Because this way it's free to just replay it. It would be nice to replay the Mystic, but we don't have the mana for that right now. Love the Saga in the deck. It's ridiculous. The Esper Sentinel is okay. Okay, now we'll put the hammer onto the Mystic. We don't have Metalcraft. We'll have to wait till next turn. Saga doesn't really slow down the game plan, no. It can fetch us a hammer turn 3, which was our go turn anyway. And I mean, realistically, we want to be doing stuff turn 3, 4. Making constructs is a little bit slow, but it's an alternative win plan. So if they're able to deal with whatever we're doing, then we can make 2 constructs, which are going to be huge, and equip those things with our hammers or our spears. While this deck does have a lot of speed, it also has quite a bit of grind. So we've just added not only to our speed being able to Urza Saga get that hammer guaranteed onto the battlefield turn 3, we've also made the grind better because turns 3 and 4 we can just be making 5 5s and 6 6s. And then go get another hammer. Yes, the land count is a little bit higher. So they have 3 cards in hand to interact with us. We know one of them is the Pilot. We're going to play the Saga this turn. Or we could play the Inkmoth Nexus to try and kill him with Nexus next turn. They have the Goose, though, right? We could play Esper Sentinel, Cranial Plating, +1 land. So is it the Saga or the Nexus? Media, I can get you back on the lands in a little bit. And absolutely, I appreciate the back and forth. Blind, you think the Nexus is the way to go? I do like the Nexus here, and I feel like it's going to give us the opportunity to win next turn. Okay, so this is the next artifact, so that allows us to start equipping for 0. Ooh, I didn't change the deck list, did I? Alright, I'll take care of that right after this match, okay? That was the deck that I was playing yesterday. Dimir, Delver, and Pauper. Yeah, but we gotta draw cards and see what we're gonna get. We might need that white mana. Let's put this onto the Memnite. We just draw land. Alright, let's attack. I think we go all in here. I don't think they play, no, they're not going to play Snapcaster Mage. Gain 3 life, sure. Make a food, you got it. And just take a bunch. I guess I'll activate this Inkmoth Nexus, get an extra point of damage in. Put them to 2, nice. Alright, go ahead, opponent. Return all artifacts, target plays. Wow! Good one! That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Even returns the Inkmoth Nexus because we tapped it. And they concede. Her calls recall, not enough. So let's see here. We have Hammer. We have way to equip Hammer. The only thing we're missing is double white mana, but I definitely like this hand. I'm going to keep it. Let's see if we can draw Plains. Sunbaked Canyon is just as good as Plains. Okay. So we go Giver of Ruins into Stoneforge Mystic with Inkmoth Nexus, into Puresteel Paladin with Hammer, and then turn 4 try and get the win as we're applying like pressure on turn 3. Pentad Prism. Oh, you think they're sniping us, Blind? Well, we got something for that. Yeah. Although, like, all joking aside, it's not. There's no snipes. Alright, so I wanted to play Inkmoth Nexus, Stoneforge Mystic here. What's the rationale behind main deck Tormod's Crypt? We're able to fetch it out with Urza Saga. There's so many graveyard interactions going on right now that because of Urza Saga going, we have the ability to play a 1-of Silver Bullet in the main. So let's see here. I want to play the Ornithopter. I'm pretty sure I want to play the Mystic this turn. The question I'm having is about the Nexus. Because if we play the Urza Saga, that's going to be better for the late game. But I'm a little bit worried with like Pentad Prism. I don't think we have a lot of time. We're going to try and set up an Inkmoth Nexus, I guess. I just don't think we're going to have the mana for it. Realistically. Lotus Bloom just entered the Exile Zone, but that just entered the Exile Zone this turn. We're not worried about that. Lotus Bloom 3 turns away, that's forever from now. We're worried about the things they can do next turn. Alright, so I want to play the Puresteel Paladin and the Colossus Hammer. So we need to play the white land in order to do that, and we aren't going to have enough mana for the Nexus to attack, but we are going to have enough mana to cast the hammer this turn, and maybe next turn we can move this hammer around. Yeah, definitely smells like Ad Naus. This is going to be the counterspell. Nope, this is the Ad Nauseam right now. In response to Colossus Hammer, Ad Naus. Pact of Negation. So they're looking for counterspell. They found a Pact. They grab Thoughtseize, they grab Angel's Grace. So they're pretty much ready to go next turn. They can just go... Yeah, like they don't even care about what we're doing. Awesome. So yeah, they can play the Angel's Grace, so they don't die to the Pact of Negation here. They can Spoils of the Vault if they have the Thassa's Oracle in hand. They can win right now. Okay, so they Spoils of the Vault for a card they don't have in their deck. Yep, which reveals the entire deck, and then they play Oracle. Very good. Turn 4. GG. So let's see here. We can bring in Seal of Cleansing and Fragmentize as ways to get rid of some of the things that the opponent is doing. Needle, Needle hits Prism, it also hits the Lotus. Or no, it doesn't hit Lotus, right? Activated abilities, unless they're mana abilities. So yeah, the Prism is still going to work through the Needle. So I think we're pretty happy with just bringing in like Fragmentize and Seal of Cleansing here. Let's take out a few cards. Don't think we're going to need Shadowspear this matchup. Don't need the Tormod's Crypt. The Memnites are fine. I'll take one more card out. Actually, how good are Giver of Ruins in this matchup? I don't think Giver of Ruins are very necessary here, are they? So we can bring the Ornithopter and the Esper Sentinel back in. Maybe even the Springleaf Drum. Because they don't have too much removal for us, do they? Zero lands. Gonna have to mulligan. We got some lands, but they don't produce colored mana. Not liking this hand either. Otherwise, it's great, but we don't have colored lands. This hand would be so good if we just had a plains. Alright, yep, this is great. We'll keep this. A little bit slow, but we'll do what we can. So we're going to put 2 cards back. We need to keep plains, Stoneforge. Do we need to keep the Stoneforge if we have Colossus Hammer? We could just maybe keep these 5 here, get rid of the 2 Stoneforge Mystics, and hope we draw plains so that we can play the Puresteel Paladin. Watch we draw Sigarda's Aid here, and everything just falls apart. Okay, turn 1 Lotus Bloom, that is something to worry about. Nice! Play the Puresteel Paladin. Unfortunately, we don't have Metalcraft yet, but we will next turn. Maybe I was supposed to play the Inkmoth Nexus this turn because of that. Profane Tutor, yep. No attack for 0? What am I even doing with my life? Okay, Inkmoth Nexus. Activate it. Equip. Also, this card. Then we'll equip to the Ornithopter, because why not? Scoop him up, Mashmalovsky. Come on. Just give me the game. Oh, come on. What's this plains even doing here? Ah. Esper Sentinel. Meh. I think we just attack for damage, play Esper Sentinel. Hope they don't kill us. Hope this is enough. Okay, so Seachrome Coast here does not look like a white-producing land from afar. I was definitely looking at that as a blue and black land. Echoing Truth on the Ornithopter, sure. So they're going to go to 6 here. We should have played the Esper Sentinel. We would have drawn a card. You think the Esper Sentinel doesn't belong in the deck? That's fair. We could definitely be playing something else, but it's interesting to play this new card, see how it does. Okay, we're going to blow up their Lotus Bloom during the upkeep. We get to draw a card. Giver of Ruins doesn't do anything. Oh, let's make a stop on the upkeep here so we make sure we get the Lotus Bloom before they draw a card. Nice. Play another Lotus Bloom and Bontu's Reckoning, which destroys all our creatures. Doesn't destroy the Nexus, but the hammer's not going to be able to be equipped anytime soon. Let's see here. We do have access to Lurrus, so I think we probably play Giver of Ruins, get Lurrus. Sentinel before the attack was definitely the play. Oh, what a draw! Puresteel Paladin. So let's see here. Unfortunately, we're just not going to have enough artifacts to put together Metalcraft, so that's unfortunate. We can play Lurrus and get Esper Sentinel or Ornithopter. Esper Sentinel just seems like the better card. Yep. I don't think we attack here. We're going to want to keep the Lurrus. I don't think putting them to 5 is any better than 6, and Bontu's Last Reckoning keeps their lands tapped this turn, right? Oh, maybe that was another turn? Okay, that was turn 5. And yeah, they'd already had another turn in between that. Esper Sentinel, doing work. Gotta pay 3 to put Lurrus in hand. Yeah, what a... Oh, that's so terrible. Could you imagine how good Lurrus would be in this deck if we could slam it into play for 3 mana? I mean, everyone would be playing Lurrus, so... Ooh, cancel that. We don't have enough artifacts yet. We're going to have to activate the Nexus. Or we can just play the Springleaf Drum. Or, like, I kind of want to save the Seal of Cleansing if possible here. I hope Mash Malofsky doesn't think we're slow rolling, because I'm legitimately like trying to figure out the best line here. Oh, the Poison Kill plays around Angel's Grace? Yep. So we could go play Drum, activate Nexus, put Hammer onto Nexus, and then attack. We put them to basically 1, but we also have protection for the Inkmoth Nexus this way. No, we don't need to activate the Drum, that's true. They do have a thing. Echoing Truth on the hammer. Yep. Good call. Get another hammer. Okay, so let's see here. We have 1 mana here. So we can play the Ornithopter and play a hammer. Go ahead. And now they get their bloom, so this could be their turn to go. They've been doing a really good job of keeping us at bay with these Echoing Truths to interact with us. And we're basically out of interaction, so I think they have it. There's the Angel's Grace. There's the Spoils. Oh, and another Spoils. Okay, so that does it. GG's. So I love this hand here. I love this hand very much. We're keeping this. Need to make a Friday emote? What would that even be? Oh, if I could remember what the casual ferret was on the TTTV. There it is. Ferret Chill. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to keep this. This hand looks fine. Opponent starts with Blackcleave Cliffs. I think we're going to be going for a long one here. So we could play the Springleaf Drum, and then turn 2, we could play Giver of Ruins and Stoneforge Mystic. And this doesn't not give them a target for Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push. So the question is, do we even want to play Plains this turn? Do we want to play Inkmoth Nexus instead? And they're like, Inkmoth Nexus, Springleaf Drum, what is this, Affinity? And then they look at the Lurrus and realize, no, it's not. Ornithopter? Okay. That doesn't really change anything. Go get Hammer. And then we'll play Ornithopter and other thing. Ferret Chill. Saw that cute ferret in a house coat. Had to say yes immediately. Lightning Bolt on Giver of Ruins makes sense. Giver of Ruins is a creature that you cast Lightning Bolt at. Alright, let's hope they tap out. Nope. Just going to leave their removal up. makes sense. Oh, no way, they just concede to Urza's Saga? Okay. So basically all we saw from the opponent was Lightning Bolt and black and red lands. I kind of like Path to Exile. Do we want Defense Grid here? Because that's going to really prevent them from using their Lightning Bolts and Fatal Pushes. It reminds you of the time you conceded to an Opt. Like, I can understand conceding to a Thoughtseize, because the Thoughtseize is going to give the opponent information about what you're doing. Do I want the paths here? And what would I take out for them? We're going to be on the draw, so I don't mind taking out a single land. And we could maybe take out... I kind of like Esper Sentinels in this matchup. Maybe like a Memnite. And then we could bring in 2 paths to get rid of, like, whatever creatures they're playing. I don't even know if they're playing creatures, though, right? Like, maybe they're playing some sort of... Like, I don't even know. If they were playing creatures, wouldn't they be on the board? Maybe that's why they scooped so early, because their hand was just such garbage. It's difficult to know how to sideboard here. So basically, I'm going to leave the deck mostly intact. Mostly the basic 60. The thing is, we're going to take out the Tormod's Crypt, and we're going to bring in Defense Grid. And the reason is, Defense Grid will protect us from Fatal Push during our turn. So hopefully, that'll come into play. We'll see what happens. Oh, you were playing against Control with Miracles, and... Okay, they were going to Miracle with the Opt? Yeah, that's fair. You know what? If we're playing against a deck with a bunch of removal, this hand looks really good. Oh, the Ren and 6 to kill the Sentinel. At least we get to draw a card for it. Memnite's not too good against Ren and 6. So it looks like they're playing Boomerjund. Giver of Ruins. So if we play Esper Sentinel now, they're just going to tick down Ren and 6. We could just play Stoneforge Mystic Memnite, or we could play Memnite Giver of Ruins. We could play Memnite Giver of Ruins Esper Sentinel. But again, like, they're going to be ticking down Ren. We'll get Hammer. Do we play the Memnite into the Ren and 6? It means they're not grabbing lands with it. They're not ticking it up. I'm going to present them a target. Mean Fanny Pack. Thanks for the follow, friend. Yep, Sentinel did replace itself, exactly. Okay, there's a Tarmogoyf protecting the Ren and 6 from the Stoneforge Mystic. We're going to continue to play targets for it, though, so we'll have an Esper Sentinel down next turn. Ren 6 can potentially tick down another time, and they'll get basically a 3-for-1 for the card. Let's see what we draw, though. Oh, another Hammer. I'm thinking probably just go Giver of Ruins and Stoneforge Mystic here. The Esper Sentinel's kind of nice, though, like killing Ren 6, even if it's for a card. No, we can wait. And I think I'm going to go get Spear. Pass turn. So Giver of Ruins will give us some protection from removal or Tarmogoyfs, depending, but they could just have Lightning Bolt for it. Ouch. Maelstrom Pulse. 2-for-1. Now they're going to smack us for 6. Now who's doing damage? Oh no! Collector Oof. That's pretty terrible. So we need to draw Sigarda's Aid off the top. If we draw Sigarda's Aid, we're doing real well. Yeah, we're just going to take this damage. We'll go to 2. We're looking for Sigarda's Aid or bust. Sigarda's Aid doesn't actually even win, but it does put us back in the game. Unless, of course, their last card is a way to kill Esper Sentinel. Okay, so, top deck, here we go. Sigarda's Aid off the top. Oh! Just like we wrote it up. And we do have enough mana to Colossus Hammer twice. Well, that is wonderful. Let's go to combat here. We're not going to let them know that what we have. That's what you do. You just call the card you're looking for off the top of the deck. Sure. I don't care really how these line up. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay, take damage. Yes. 4-1. We smashed it! Good game, chat. What a draw off the top. See, you gotta know what card you're looking for, and then just ask. Just ask for it. Once you know the card you're looking for, universe will just give it to you.